Hello, I'm Vi Dutcher, Director of EMU's Writing Program. Welcome to the Writing Workshop on Research, a Thesis, and Outlines. Perhaps one of the tasks you feel less than confident about is conducting research on the Internet. Years ago, before the Internet, libraries had card catalogs as a resource for us. We pulled out the drawer, went through the cards, we searched alphabetically for our topic or an author. Those sources were countable, they were finite. Professors were likely to assign exhaustive research assignments. You literally looked at every source on the topic and showed this depth and breadth in your research paper. Today, however, card catalogs are extinct. You need to know how to search for appropriate sources out of sometimes uncountable and seeming infinite amounts of sources. It's important to know the most useful words by which to conduct the search. Sometimes students approach this search by having a preconceived idea in mind and attempting to find a source that is dealing specifically with that same idea. This will likely not lead to a productive search. First, think about this search as a way of inventing or discovering your topic. It's not that you're going to find sources right away. It's that you have to think about what the topic will be. It helps you design your idea or topic. When you're looking for sources, you only need to find a few primary sources. Another place to find relevant primary sources is the reference page of your source, and mine their sources for your use. They are like gold mines. Primary sources are original materials, materials where authors gather data and publish their results. They include interviews, surveys, questionnaires, government statistics. Secondary resources are sources that analyze or comment upon primary materials. They're one step removed from the original source. So what I'm advising you to do is take a few primary sources and look in the back at their references or their bibliography, and you will find many other sources there specifically related to the topic you want to research. So deciding upon your idea first and having a fixed topic in mind as you search is not taking into an account an important step. The Internet is not called an information highway for nothing. It gives you information, but not knowledge. Knowledge is what you are doing. It is what you are making. I want to discuss briefly with you what I call inductive work. Let's say that you are conducting 5 interviews for a research project, and I'll represent them with a short line, short dash. And let's say that you also had folks complete a questionnaire, and you've got several of those, and we'll represent those here. And so you've got several pieces of data. You've got resources that you've researched. You've got several things going on here. Interviews, results of questionnaires, researched material, ideas. You start looking through this data for patterns. How are these data alike? And you may decide that these two and these two come together to make this category. I'm doing a lot of representation here. I'm not putting words on this. And let's say that these 3 and these 3 come together, and they're alike in those ways, and not alike in some other important ways. And then let's say that these cluster together in patterns. And now you've got 3 categories of all of your data instead of all of these individual categories or pieces of data. So now you want to make an overarching category and write a statement about it, a claim that you want to make to argue a point which you are going to support with these 3 primary ideas, and your examples are coming from your data. So this is working through the inductive method. You start with the small pieces and work your way up to a conclusion, to an idea, to an argument. Then when you begin to write, you write deductively. So this is working upward. But when you begin to write, you write deductively. You start here. You start here with your thesis and letting us know how you're going to present this. And then you begin writing paragraphs of ideas and examples and so forth to build your argument. That way of working inductively is the way you build knowledge. It's different than finding information on the internet. You are building knowledge. It's building your voice. This is also an analysis of your sources. In the deductive and the inductive method, you are analyzing. In the deductive method, you are synthesizing, bringing it all together to make sense, to make knowledge. This is why a paper cannot be written the night prior to its due date. You need time. This takes time. It takes thinking. There's a lot of work before you have a polished essay. Graduate level writing includes more thorough research, incorporates more completely focused or worded central arguments. At the graduate level, you will become acquainted with the value of peer review, how to use language both concisely and precisely, how to discuss abstraction comfortably, how to develop a finely tuned synthesis, and apply research to specialized clinical practice. Indeed, your voice will take on a more authoritative tone in conversation with outside sources. I want to talk about outlining a little bit here. Sometimes, some of you may work well with making an outline first and then writing. However, that is often building a paper through a deductive method, and I teach building a paper through the inductive method. So whichever way you do it, one thing is for sure, when you are finished with that paper, one good way to begin your revision is to outline it. You should be able to outline your article when you're finished. It shows critical thinking. It includes summarizing, showing your understanding of an author's argument by restating the ideas in your own words. It includes analyzing and interpreting, assessing the structure of the argument and identifying implied connections and ideas. It includes synthesizing, drawing links from the work to your own personal experience and knowledge, and evaluating, which is developing and providing your own opinions on the quality and significance of the work or information. So I would suggest that when you begin to construct an outline of your essay or your paper, you begin with the thesis at the beginning. Just put that right at the top. Then list your supporting ideas as A, B, C, D, and so on. Under each of these letters, number the examples or statistics or points that you're going to make to develop those ideas that in turn support the thesis. Outlining shows the points you want to make. Outlining will show you if you have an outlier. If you have a point that doesn't really fit in, you need to either make it fit in or get rid of it. It shows you where the logic breaks down or not. The outline also shows your voice. It strengthens your voice. It shows coherence and unity. It's an excellent revision strategy. Remember that the writing program website, accessed through the link on my EMU, and the Everyday Writer, EMU's Writing Handbook, are excellent resources for you.